Alright, I'm going to go over the theme shortcodes. So let's go ahead and create a page. And let's call this page shortcode example. Let's publish it. And then you'll also, once we publish it, that you'll see the second row of icons. And these are the shortcodes. So I'm going to open up the page in another tab so we can see the back and forth. So let's just we'll go over the list left to right, starting with a button. And if you hover it for a second, you'll just see the summary of what these do. So the first one's a button, and the first one's a link, so it's pretty easy. You would just type in your link. Target, you can leave it blank if you want, or this is just basically if you wanted to have it be blank to open a new window, self opens a current window, or just blank, just leave it blank, it's fine. And then size, we have 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. Let's go and just leave it at medium. And then color, we have progression red is the default color. So if I update it, progression red. And then also one thing to note is if you're using the theme customizer, it should update these colors for this progression red. Just FYI. And then in the documentation we list out all the colors. There is colors like gray, so if you type in progression gray, you get all those. There's blue, light blue, orange, black. It's in the documentation right here. We have a list of them. So there's red, blue, light blue, gray, orange, and black. And you can see them in the live preview. It's all really easy to get. And then obviously you can change the text color, or text. I'm gonna skip over the columns and we'll go to those last. The next one is toggle. And toggle is super easy. So the title is pretty easy. And then the status is open or closed. So let's go and leave this one open and let's view it, and then we can give you a better idea. So the title's right there, sample title. And then the text is the content. And then if you wanted it closed, you can just type in closed instead of open. And then it'll by default be closed. So the toggle's super easy. And then there's tabs. So if we update it, let's take a look at the tabs. Tab 1 and tab 2. And this works pretty darn simple too. It's just like tab title, just like the toggle. So if you want to adjust that, you can do it up there. And then you have the tab content, tab 2, content. So if you wanted to have add another tab, you can just copy the tab, paste it. Jeez. And then let's call this one tab 3, update it. And then you can have a third tab, or fourth, or etc. You get the idea, it's very easy. So those are the tabs. And then there's this last one's a divider. And WordPress hasn't added a divider yet, so we went ahead and added it in. It's just kind of a nice little handy feature. It's just a simple line break divider. Alright, so the good stuff, the columns. So the columns are super easy to use. Let's start with 1/2. So it's super easy, you just type in 1/2 and then 1/2. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some text. I'll just add text to see 1/2 so you can actually see it. And if the only thing you need to pay attention to is this last equals, and if it's the last column, you type in yes. So let's update that and you can see how it works. 1/2 and 1/2. So let's do 1/3 now. We'll do 3 of them since there's 3 in there. 1/3, 1/3. And then like I mentioned before, the last 1/3 needs to be marked yes and the others stay no. And then we get our 1/3. And if you forget that last, it just drops it down and kind of messes up the formatting. You just type in the yes. So you can also do mixed matching like 1/4 and 3/4. And then just make sure the last one's marked yes. And that's how you can get all sorts of columns. And in the theme documentation, just like the other ones, we actually have that list of all the shortcode columns from the live preview. And you can just actually paste that in. The formatting might be a little weird.